you are always going to be the problem.
Alrighty, boys and girls, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday, December 4th, 2024. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are calling in from. Like the stream on your way in. Say what's up in the chat. Let me pull the chat box up. Make sure audio's good. Audio looks good. I'm not muted, right? No. Oh, who do we got in here? Good morning, Weiler. Good morning, Allie. Good morning, Leo. Paul, GFX, Justin Rogers. Good morning, man. Good to see you. Jason, Storm Scalp. Good to see you, my man. Pero 5, Lucas, Allie, Thehe. Topstep X is having issues again. My Topstep X is loading. Unless you guys are talking about like order issues or something. Haven't taken any trades yet. Good morning, old Christian Bergam Ernison. Good morning, Derek. Good morning, Antonio. Yeah, I didn't know that speech actually had him saying crypto is going to zero. It's a little, the speech is a little outdated. But hey, nonetheless, proof that he says some silly shit sometimes. Good morning, Kino Tabi. Maida, good morning. Colorol, Jerome, Earl Soud, Said, Mr. Shadi, Tamara, PVM Depth, Mohammed. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day, everybody. So, let me switch this here, actually. Go to full screen here while we dive into some technical analyses. Tyler, are you still holding XRP? Yes. I did take a little bit off above $2.70. Looks like we're trading at $2.59 right now. So yeah, just took a small little partial. Just got to a point where it was feeling euphoric, and I found myself constantly wanting to screenshot my portfolio. And the mistake I made when I was in that state last time around was not taking anything off the table. So I took my cost basis out, and we're riding the rest risk free. Still have most of the position on. Literally like 90% of it. So that's my plan, is to just keep partialing out as we climb. So, oops, shit. What are we doing here? All right, guys. Let's start diving into these charts. Market is already selling off. Real quick before we do that, we do have 10 a.m. news, 9:45 news as well. PMI here in 5 minutes. And red folder at 10. We do have Powell speaking later this afternoon, so we'll see what that does during the afternoon session. If we, go crazy, or maybe the sell-off right now is anticipating whatever Powell's about to say. I do like, just looking at price here on Nasdaq, I do like the way that all of this looks. We did trade above all-time highs, and now I just think there's so much opportunity for stop losses to be ran to the downside, to be honest. So many levels of relative equal lows, trendline liquidity, low resistance liquidity run, however you really would like to look at it. But like, even here in the short term especially, like, I don't see why all this wouldn't get cleaned up down in here. Run all of this out at, a minimum. Just going to take a quick little scan through some time frames here, boys and girls. There's a 4-hour fair value gap below that trendline liquidity. One hour, 30-minute. Let's check regular trading hours. Opening range gap as well. 15 minute. See how this candle closes here in the next few minutes. But here on the 5 minute, you can see where's market open. Market opens right here. You can see we get this change in the state of delivery here at the end of this macro going into 9 a.m. And then we get this change in the state of delivery here on the 5, and we've kind of just sold off straight since then. Market opened here. Trade up one more time into this fair value gap, respecting bearish order flow. And push for a short-term low here. And I think we still have room to go, personally. Looking at ES. YM is going up. YM in its own world as usual. Nasdaq kind of leading the pace to the downside right now. These are pretty wicked 1 minute candles, I will say. These are pretty wicked. But I would say, yeah, sell side target for me would be this low. So 21,305. That's where the 4-hour fair value gap sits as well. So sell side 4-hour fair value gap. We'll annotate all this good stuff. Oops. Wrong one, actually. Let's see here. Macro in about 6 minutes. Medium impact news here in 1 minute. Didn't mean to click that. A 15-minute candle closing here in 1 minute. So I'm going to watch this close. It's close, man. I mean, just looking to see if we're going to close some bodies below this low here. Yeah. Yeah, Maximilian, I don't know if anyone else... let me know what problem you guys are having with Topstep X. Mine seems to be working right now. It made me log in this morning, which was different. Usually it keeps me logged in. That was it. When did he say this? I don't know. He said crypto is going to zero multiple times. Who knows? He might still be right. It could go to zero. Gets to 99K and then just goes to zero. Wouldn't that be some shit? Oh, that would suck. Tyler Apex sent me an email saying PA account is active. It still says Apex. I don't know anything about Apex as far as that goes. You're asking the wrong guy. On your Topstep X account, your chart doesn't show OF? Your chart doesn't show OnlyFans? I'm not sure they built that feature in just yet. Yeah, maybe re-ask your question. I actually don't know what you mean by doesn't show OF. I'm trying to think what OF could stand for. You got me. I'm blanking. Yes, we do have a lot of news today. 9:45 news just came out. We did not really get a strong 15-minute close here on Nasdaq. You know, so I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit more neutral after seeing this, just because, you know, based on price action here. Who's to say price doesn't just sweep this like it did here, close above, and make another run for the high? That could happen. Right, so that's that. I do think there is room for the downside, so I know I already said that. So I think that could make sense as well. Just not a huge fan of this close here on the 15-minute. This hourly, obviously we got another 15-minute candle to go through before this hourly closes, so that could change things based on how this shakes out. But I think you could question if price is ready or not for a sell-off. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Why your chart doesn't show off? I'm gonna need you to I don't know, ask your question differently, dude. Doodlesoul. Or if you're in the Discord, drop, I don't know if you can drop like a picture or something in the Discord. If you're in it, I can take a little peek at it and see if I can understand what you're saying. But I'm not tech support either, so I'm not sure how much help I'm gonna be. My charts are working fine. I would try just, you know, refreshing or clearing your cookies and cache. See if that helps. That's the equivalent of taking the game out of the console, blowing on it, sticking it back in. Usually that does the trick. I am good, Monkeef. How are you? I'm good. Macro starting here, guys, in a minute. I'm not sure if I'm going to take anything here prior to this 10 a.m. news, though. We'll see. I don't see a setup right now that I'm looking to anticipate entering, so probably not. Not really much for SMT at this low either. Looks like ES also traded through it a little bit. But yeah, man, we did have ADP non-farm earlier this morning at 8:15. Oh, I thought it was 8:15. 15 minutes early. And the 15-minute candle is an absolute dud. So that's kind of pointless. But I'm good at entry of the trade. I'm worse at exiting the trade. How can I improve that? Have a plan before you enter the trade. Whether that's static 1 to 2, static 1 to 3. Price hits this level, I'm out no matter what. And then, yeah, I mean, if you don't have a plan when you enter the position, you probably shouldn't be entering the trade, right? Not saying that you can never adapt or change your mind given new information during the trade, but for the most part, yeah, you should have a target in mind before you enter. But I don't know. I've definitely had that problem with crypto. I can't say I've had that problem with like day trading futures. I feel like if I lean any which way for the worse, I'd probably lean more the other way where it's like I'm just eager to get out. You know, and then sometimes I miss out on an extra 100 points, but when you already catch like 50 to 100 points, it's not really a big deal, I guess. I don't know. I think also maybe you're trying to be perfect. You're trying to capture the absolute best entry and the absolute best exit, which I think is silly. I used to try to do the same thing, but I don't think that is very sustainable or even realistic. Are you listening to Vince DeCiano? No, I don't think so. No, I'm listening to on Spotify. There's a playlist called Stream Beats by Harris Heller. But yeah, basically it's just like some lo-fi background music that does not copyright on YouTube. So that's all that is. Is it loud? Do I need to turn it down? I can't really hear it on my end, but if the volume's good, let me know. I'll leave it where it's at. Just can't stomach listening to ICT anymore. I love his concepts, but they only work if you put in the work and research. But blowing the Robins was the final straw for me. Integrity matters. I do agree that integrity matters. And I also agree that, yeah, the concepts only work as good as the actual trader, just like anything else. You know, you could trade VWAP for all I care, and it doesn't really matter if you're kind of all over the place on your end. They might be holding it for Powell. That could be possible. Anything's possible. They held the pump to all-time highs yesterday till the last like 30 minutes, which was annoying. What I say, Naz, 100x after the 15-minute fair value gap. Listen, I told you, even when we were in profit on the short and then we were break even, and you said you were wrong, I was right, and I said, hey, hold up here, relax. Relax, Dawson. You might not be. Sure enough. Sure enough. I appreciate it, Sam. Yeah, the week's been basically break even for me. One trade on, what did I say, Wednesday? Yeah, one trade on Monday that basically I trailed stop a little bit in profit, got stopped in profit, took another trade after that, small loss there. So it's kind of canceled each other out. And then yesterday, two trades that I think I was up like 20 to 30 points. The short might have been maybe, yeah, no, probably about that, 20, 30 points. And then both trades stopped at break even. Which was fine with me. Like yesterday going into it, I felt like I could make an argument for both sides. And so far this morning, it's kind of been similar, right? I did definitely want to see potentially price to keep selling off here to these short-term targets. But obviously that was not offered to us yet. Price sweeps this and looks like it wants to maybe head higher, so just staying put for now. We got news here in 4 minutes. And then we have 10:30 orange folder news. So yeah, it's just packed with news across. I don't know why that's the case. Today we got OPEC tomorrow. And it's the day before NFP, which definitely usually is a day that I just kind of sideline myself, take off. But it's just been such an odd week. Like, I would have expected some cleaner price, personally, Monday through Wednesday of NFP week. But it is what it is, man. It is December, after all. That could have something to do with it. So, yeah, as of right now, I just don't really see a great opportunity. I guess I could ask you guys as well, huh? I never did get your guys' bias today. Usually I like to ask before I give any of my thoughts, just to not sway any of yous. But yeah, let me know if you guys are bullish, bearish, neutral. I do see us sweeping this high here inside of a 5-minute fair value gap. I do see this, so I'm kind of just watching this right now. But, I mean, just look how fast and aggressive we traded up into this from sweeping this low. So I'm not just going to YOLO a short here. Scale into a 1 minute though. We'll see, you know, if price starts displacing lower fast and leaving behind some inefficiencies, could see a short play out though. What is the worst thing somebody can do as a trader? Ask Gudam. Let me know your guys' thoughts on what's the worst thing a trader can do. I would say worst thing a trader can do, outside of like the obvious stuff like full port your account on repeat all the time. Worst thing a trader can do. Man, there's a lot of bad things a trader can do. Probably strategy hop would be up there. Strategy hop would have to be up there. I would say other bad thing any trader can do is blindly follow trade signals without any intention of learning for themselves or understanding for themselves. You know, like if somebody comes to the market and they're just completely clueless on what they should do, and then they just take a trade because they hear someone on YouTube, for example, say, hey, I'm going short here. Like, that's not good. That'd be pretty terrible. So that's bad. Yeah, strategy hopping, signal botting. What else? What else? Well, I guess you're not really a trader if you do this, but I was going to say probably the absolute worst thing would be sending your money to a scammer from from India or something to trade for you. You're not really a trader, I guess, if you're sending your money to others to trade for you. Here's the news, guys. That's why you're seeing this crazy reaction here. We're seeing that respect from that fair value gap. You'd have had to literally enter the candle of the news. So I don't consider that a fucking missed op. I consider that a trade I'm probably not supposed to catch. You don't have to agree, though. Just kidding. You do have to agree. Against your will. Yeah, quit is also, yeah, not to make it too simple, yeah. Quit it. Well, I don't know. Quitting might be the right answer for some people. As uninspirational of an answer as that is, that probably is the truth for some. Unfortunately. But for many, I think all humans, most humans, have the capacity and the wherewithal where they can rein it in, figure it out, not quit, and get where they want to go. Yeah, dude. Due to sell, I'm not sure. Some people said they're having some issues with their accounts. I don't know. My Topstep X is working fine for now. I haven't tried taking any trades on it, so we'll see if that changes. But I don't know. Refresh, clear your cookies and cache. That might help. I'm not sure. Yeah, give money to fast track trading. I guess that falls in the category of giving money to scammers, huh? I'd say another bad thing. Would be, well, like putting money in very sketchy, offshore, unregulated brokerages. That'd be bad. I guess that also falls in the category of giving money to scammers as well. SMT with ES here at the low. I'm kind of kerfuddled right now, boys and girls. I can't really tell right now where price wants to go. Check the tilt indicator here. Yeah, pretty split here. 38, 38, 25. Literally, basically 1/3 across the board. We got bullish, bearish, and neutral. Yeah, boys, I don't know. I don't know what we want to do right now. All I know is there's PD arrays on both sides we're trading in between at the moment. That's about all I know. That's about all I know. Yeah, we didn't have any earnings at all this week either. No earnings that were on the calendar like all month. I'm gonna check that though, probably next week. They might update. There's got to be some earnings at some point, right? And then another thing to keep in mind, kids, is contract rollover. If you're on Topstep X, it doesn't matter; it'll roll over automatically. But if you're trading on TradingView at all, right now we're trading the December contract, so next week is probably when we're going to be starting to trade next year's 2025, what is it, March contract? NQ1 exclamation point is the continuous contract, so it's always it's automatically putting you in the right contract technically. I don't know. Topstep for a while through Tradeovate wasn't allowing you to place orders on that. You had to go to the December, like the actual chart, contract chart. Maybe they've changed that back. I mean, you can still use the continuous chart for charting, but I guess if you use Topstep X, you don't have to worry about it. That's another nice thing about Topstep X. You don't have to worry about it. It just automatically updates it for you, right? Trading back into this 5-minute gap. Where is... Yeah, so here's our first presentation fair value gap here. Extend this across. Make that guy red. Look at ES though, just hanging out down here. NQ, ES. Looking like it might just bounce from this gap and fly right to the high. Anybody grab this? It's not really much here. It's only 28 points. It's a little scalp, I guess, but anybody take that? Chad, I'm using a Mac. I'm using a Mac. I was going to get a Windows PC, like a sick one. You know, like the one with the lights and everything shining out the side. And then my good friend in the chat here, Tyler Jacobs, goes, bro, because he had a Mac. He goes, trust me, get the Mac. Don't get a Windows PC. Get the Mac. I'm like, you sure? He goes, yeah, get the Mac. No, not fucking cap. I'll pull up the receipts, bitch. Sorry for the little kids' ears. But anyway, long story. That's not cap. I swear to God, guys. I swear on my dog's life. Jax, get in here. I'm putting your life on the line. Jax, get in here. I'm sacrificing you on stream right now. This is the 100% the truth. 100% the truth. He says, get a Mac. And I get a Mac. I get the Mac Mini. It's got the M2 chip. And I will say it's nice. And I'm an Apple guy, right? So I'm like, okay, it didn't take too much convincing. If he says it's good, it's good. And then, however many months go by, just recently, this guy goes out, gets a Windows PC. The same guy that said, don't get a Windows PC, get a Mac. This story is 1,000% true. But the Mac PC is good. I swear to God. It's good. You know, it ain't like I'm gaming on it. Like if I was gaming on a PC, I think it's a simple answer. Right? Windows PC is probably definitely the way to go. All right, boys. There's the long if you caught this. I did not take this, obviously. Anybody snag that long? You're damn right I ask his opinion. This guy's like a tech wizard. He's a tech wizard. All the research. Besides, he's getting on stream and doing the same thing. Let me do this. Let me read this message to you guys. Let me read this text. Monday. Let me read this one. Monday, 8:37 a.m. my time, so 9:37 New York. I wasn't even in a trade yet, but I was talking about looking for shorts. He goes, thanks for telling me to sell, bro. Lost everything. My response at 10:14 was worked for me. No, that was the trade that I got stopped out on, or stopped out in profit on. So yeah, if I buy some tech gear because of his opinion, you know, I just like to dish the same back. Come on, what are friends for? What are friends for? Let's be honest. Sometimes you just want to play the victim card, just for fun. Just for fun. Took on eval. Didn't tap your PD array. Took on paper. Okay. So yeah, it sounds like a few of you guys caught this long here. Yeah, definitely a trade of the scalp variety, I would say. 28 points to the high. What time was that at? Right at the end of the macro, 10:10. So yeah, we're pretty range bound though for the most part. Like we're stuck in this 60-point range. We'll see. I don't know if price wants to expand higher out of here. If we do get an expansion, obviously could look to hop in the longs. And I would look to project this manipulation out and look for standard deviations for exit. -2 to 2.5 would be a super nice move. Could even, at all-time highs like this, it's also a good time, in my opinion, to start busting out some static risk to rewards. Like just go for 1 to 2, 1 to 3. Just because everything's kind of arbitrary when you're looking at targets at that point. There's no PD arrays to the left. You spent $6,000 for your computer? A Mac Mini M4. I don't know. I have the M2. I want to say this was like, what was it, like 1700 or something like that. And then obviously I got a couple decent monitors. I got another 4K monitor on the way next week. But yeah, I guess it depends what you use it for. Like this Mac Mini, I'll say this, for everything I do, it is enough for the most part. You know, if I did gaming on my PC, that'd be a different story. I'd probably would need something better. No, I am not in Ryan. Nope, nope, nope. Look at ES here, though. Like, ES just staying heavy this entire time. That was kind of the main reason I was not keen on taking the long from this little scalp, was I was like looking at ES. I'm like, what the fuck? Going in two different directions. This displacement is something else. Might look to get short here. Might look to get short here, kids. See if it can pop up in here a little bit. Pop up into this imbalance. Oh, of course it gives me that fill. Anyway. All right, guys, I'm in. I'm going to attempt this short here. I'm going to go stop up here. Yeah, buy stop. 30-second, 1 minute bearish fair value gap. After running out the high, we do have SMT at the high. And ES is heavy. Like I said, I think we could see price maybe go all the way here. Look at this giant fair value gap. I guess we're trading into a 5-minute bear. I didn't see that. 5-minute bullish gap. Look at ES here. Come on. All right, ride or die. Inversion. Bearish fair value gap. Oh no, this price action is real. I think you could have talked yourself out of this short if you're looking at this being a 5-minute fair value gap. I did not even see that, but I think I still would have taken the trade anyway, to be honest. It does make the trade a little bit less appealing, though. Probably getting stopped out here, though, yeah. Fuck yeah. Look at this shit. Entered. 1, 2, 3. Stopped out in less than 3 minutes. At least it was painless. Yep, stream's over. I'm getting off. I'm getting off so I can go on tilt. JK LOL. Losing sucks, dude. It's never fun. You know, it's never a great sign when you're looking at a chart and you just see SMT, SMT. But yeah, fill 424 and 3/4. Stop 453 and 3/4. Traded up from this 5-minute bullish fair value gap. With ES trading lower. Well, I'm back in the range now. Bro, I might just flip and go long, honestly. And if this loses, just call it a day. Does that sound like a solid plan to you guys? Yeah, I might even just look for like 1 to 2. Take us up into the -1 to 1.5. I'll set a limit in this fair value gap / BPR. And yeah, if it loses, I'm just going to call it. Hopefully it comes and picks up my entry. Same trade, watch it go down now. Watch it, yeah, watch it not even pick me up and just fly. Look at that fair value gap. Respect. Yeah. Yowzas. Come on, little Nasdaq. 1 minute, 2 minute BPR. Come on, little Nasdaq. We believe in you. Don't make me regret saying that. Soft trades, dude. Where you been? Good to see ya. Where you been hiding? Buying yourself a Ford Raptor for Christmas, boys. Thanks 100K, 180K. Took from Apex versus in all accounts and every trade before the rules changed. Are you serious? If that's true, congratulations. Enjoy your Ford Raptor. That's sick. I think I might be more of a TRX guy myself. But yeah, that's dope. Why did you take your SD standard deviation from the higher leg? Wondering. So I use this leg here because this is the manipulation, because this is what formed the SMT divergence. So ES made a leg lower, NQ made a leg higher, creating the SMT. So that was why I drew the standard deviation from there. You want to draw it on the manipulation leg, I guess is the answer. Look at that. Are you really going to leave me behind by 2 points? We do have medium impact news here in 4 minutes. Don't forget that. Oh, Tyler, it's a breakaway gap. Anthony wants to make sure we know about the volume imbalance because he wrote it in all caps. I don't even see what fucking volume imbalance he's talking about. Don't tell me you're looking at this. Your one tick volume imbalance? Well, we'll see. I'm not going to chase it. Either it picks me up or it don't. Coffee in hand, boys. Clink. Do I ever take starters slightly early? Did you mean entries? Sometimes I'll take entries early, yeah. Today was not one of those days. Small starter position. I got one mini contract on, so I can't go smaller than that. Unless I did micros. No, I did not start off trading ICT. Well, technically, ICT was the first thing that I heard about when I joined or when I started trading. Technically. But I didn't really... Like, when you first start trading, you don't even know what a candlestick is. You don't even know, like... I remember the first time I learned that a 5-minute chart meant every candle was 5 minutes of price. I remember that being like such a like such a mind-blowing thing for me to know. So liquidity, fair value gaps, like that wasn't really something I cared about too much. And then I think early on in trading, for a lot of people, you kind of just gravitate toward what's really simple and easy, which for a lot of people is indicators. But I guess my first actual learning anything was babypips.com, which is, a lot of retail stuff, indicators. News just came out, guys. So that's where I started. Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic, overbought, oversold, support, resistance, trend lines. Yeah, turtle soup is like the only way to trade these ranges when you get range bound markets. But you can't always predict when you're going to be in a range bound market. Like with all the news today, I wasn't expecting us to be stuck in this range here. Used to be a laser show warrior. Are you saying that as like a trading thing? Yeah, my charts used to have lines everywhere on it. I'd start off on the daily or the weekly on all my Forex charts, and I'd mark out support and resistance. And I'd drop down, and I'd drop down again and again and again. My chart literally looked like a 4-year-old with a box of crayons got a hold of it. Looks like I'm not going to get picked up. Two points.
That is called Bidenomics. That is called Bidenomics, and we are very proud of Bidenomics.
Yeah, this happened to me last week Friday. Literally got left behind by like a point and a half. It's a breakaway gap, Tyler. How do you not know that? Shut up. Yeah, I'm afraid that's part of the deal. Anybody, is anybody already in the long? I know Soft Trade said he was long from the inversion, so he got in probably like right here. You know, you could institutional order flow entry drill this. It's not really my forte, necessarily. Could get away with a kind of a cheap trade, 16 points. Yeah, let's try it. I could get away with 2 contracts here, but I'm not in love, super in love with this entry as I was this entry. So I think I'll keep the risk a little lighter to make me feel better. You know, if disaster strikes. All right, well, here we go. Watch this not get picked up either. Tiger X FX says it's a FOMO trade. It's not a FOMO trade. It's institutional order flow entry drill. Much different. Do you go watch ICT's live streams, the ones that you can't comment on, when he does it and say the same thing to yourself? Oh my God, ICT did an institutional order flow entry drill. Let me journal that down as FOMO trade. FOMO trade. What the? I don't know if I'm going to get picked up for this or not. It's looking like it kind of just wants to keep spooling here. Tiger FX is all institutional order flow entry drill trades, are all of them FOMO trades by your definition? Technically, if I'm really being aggressive with said institutional order flow entry drill, my entry is actually here. It's not even here. Let's see how it plays out. I'm going to keep this limit on here for now. Yeah, I could see a 5-minute gap left behind. If we do, I'll move my stop down a little bit. I definitely have obviously wiggle room on it. I'll put it below the fair value gap candle on the 5. But look at this. Look at this FOMO trade. Fuck. Yeah, come back. 5-minute candle closes in a minute. Next, after the next 1-minute candle. But hey, it gave a new high. I don't understand breakaway gaps. Is it if the third candle closes higher than the second candle? I wouldn't fucking worry about it, to be honest. Don't get so caught up in all the BS of all these like really smart people on hindsight YouTube videos and Twitter posts that want you to think that they just know so much about Enigma and the algorithm that that they know exactly when a gap is going to stay breakaway, when it's going to become a measuring gap, or if that gap is going to hold the first 2 quadrants, first 50%, or if the gap is going to get filled fully. In my opinion, and I've been trading ICT concepts for a little while now, I think a lot of that shit is bullshit. It's all kind of cherry picked. A lot of it's hindsight. Like, put somebody in front of you, and if they can tell you before it happens, hey, this gap's going to stay open, it's going to be a breakaway gap, without a shadow of a doubt. This one won't be. Here's what it's going to do. It's going to fill 50%, not a fucking tick more. Like, if you get those people doing it live, I'll eat my words and shut up. But otherwise, good luck. There was like 1 or 2 days where I did take a couple trades anticipating gaps to stay as a breakaway, but it's definitely not something that I'm doing often. And to me, I definitely feel like it is something that you could get burned on more than enough times. Like, yeah, let me just make a habit of putting my stop loss at the beginning of a fair value gap just so I can look cool if it works out. Yeah, that sounds smart. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be honest. I'm just trying to be honest, guys. I'm not trying to sit here and act like I know everything and everything. Come on. And if being honest makes me wrong, then by God Almighty, I don't want to be right. But here's what I will say, and maybe this can be helpful. Obviously, if you are in a really consolidated seek and destroy condition, bro, you're just going to be screwed. Because here's the problem. I think with like all like the breakaway gap stuff, you got to think all these concepts, breakaway gaps, you're only getting them in expanding markets, spooling markets. When you're in seek and destroy and chop, you're not getting breakaway gaps. It's all getting sought after and destroyed. You know what I'm saying? So I think what happens sometimes as well is like people are in one of those conditions and then they're getting frustrated because this isn't working, that isn't working, when in reality it's just like, bro, that condition is just going to take you for all you're worth no matter what anyway. So first of all, scrap that. And then, you know, when you are in a spooling condition, what I can say, and you guys can pay attention to this on your own, when you are in a market that is expanding and spooling, one, that's when you can expect and anticipate those breakaway gaps. And usually it's when you're not going to know in the moment. When the gap first forms, you aren't going to know right away. Like, oh, how do I know that's going to be a breakaway gap before it is a breakaway gap? You don't. You don't know. You don't know. How do you have a clue later on when price continues working higher or lower, whichever direction we're expanding, and we're leaving behind even more imbalances? And the reason that is important is because if you're expecting price to continue, keep climbing, keep expanding, you don't want to see all of these higher up PD arrays fail. Once bullish order flow starts failing, you're probably shifting, right? So in those cases, you're probably a little, I'm never going to say you're 100% guaranteed safe. You're not 100% guaranteed safe ever. You could always be wrong. But you're probably safer in terms of probabilities to then start anticipating those breakaway gaps, which is what I am doing right here. Like, I'm anticipating this to stay open, which is why my stop is here instead of here, right? And maybe I'll be wrong. One thing to consider is we did already come to -1 standard deviation of this range. So if we are not going to continue expanding higher, this likely will be a L, which always breeds the $1 million question. Well, how do I know if we're going to keep expanding? Guess what? You don't. That is the risk that we all have to accept when we enter these markets. Is anything could happen at any moment. And the market could give two you-know-whats. It ain't giving you your money back. It's gonna keep it. So, I don't know. That's that. Maybe if I put my blue light glasses on, that'll help me see better. Yeah, we got macro soon. But right, like, you can see the logic behind that, right? If you're just looking at market, I guess just through the lens of price action and order flow, like, what are you thinking when price if price disrespects and we displace lower through bullish PD arrays, forming bearish PD arrays? Like, that gives me indication that market is likely done expanding higher. We did leave behind a 5-minute gap. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this up slightly to the beginning of the 5-minute gap. And stop is going below the 5-minute gap candle. Still light. And yeah, I'm anticipating and looking for this to hold and continue expanding higher. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And then I'm going to go for a 1 to 2. And we'll go for 50 points. We'll go over 50 points. Well, hopefully that all makes sense. But either way, I'm never trying to sell you guys a false bill of goods of, like, because it just annoys me when I hear other people talk about the market in a way like they know everything and they're never questioning anything. Like, oh, if you do this and this and this, you will fucking win no matter what. Like, it's just not, that's not how the market works. Like, you can be wrong at any moment, regardless of how many confluences you have telling you price is going to do something. And that's just the truth. Only watch your stream every day. I really like how you stream. I feel you're honest to everybody here. Thank you for... appreciate it, Maida. Glad you're here, Maida. Looking like I might get picked up here, guys and gals. Let's see if this expands. I'll be done on this account, though, if this fails and loses. Obviously, if this gap doesn't remain breakaway, I'll be cooked here. I might go over and trade on Topstep X. I have a XFA on Topstep X I can trade and a Combine. But I'll be done on this trade of 8 XFA. If this loses, that'll be 2 L's. Deal? All right, good. How do you get the money on TradeAvate? So it's on TradingView settings, and you just like here, you can set your appearance to show money or ticks. Ticks is probably more healthy, just because you're not as emotionally tied to the tick amount as you are the dollar amount. I guess maybe I should. But like if you set up your brackets prior, you know, you want to be able to see the money so you know how much you're risking relative to your account. But currently up 25 ticks, boys. 30 ticks, boys. Come on, come on, come on, come on. But yeah, ticks is probably less emotional for most people. Oh. Well, I guess I can remove this bias here, huh? Or the poll. The final official results of the poll, guys, was almost 50% of the chat went bullish. I don't know if half these votes came in after we started rallying or not. Sometimes people like to do that. They save their vote until they see what happens and then they vote for it. You know what I mean? Chickens. Look at all those chickens. Nice 5-minute close. All that is just a decent sign for now. We are in the macro starting. And I jinxed it. Maybe. Macros is a 20-minute window. Last 10 minutes of an hour into the first 10 minutes of the following hour. So this macro is beginning right now. NQ definitely the stronger of the two between NQ and ES, so definitely in the right one here for longs. Yeah, the macro might microwave me. That's fine. Risk is managed. I'll be down about 0.5%. And then I'll be a good little boy and hop off this account for the day. But yeah, we'll let it play out here. Win or lose, risk is already accepted, so it won't be the last time you guys will see me lose, most likely. That'd be nice, you know, if I never lost ever again. I'm afraid that's probably not realistic. Oh my God, wouldn't that be sick? Wouldn't that be nice if you just never lost a trade again? Tell you what, Santa, all I want for Christmas, don't give me anything ever again. Just, I don't want to ever lose a trade again. Deal? Yeah, what is Bitcoin doing right now? Dude, we're not moving. Fuck. Bitcoin is just stuck. Do you guys think Bitcoin hits 100K before Christmas? Or is the fun over with? ICT hasn't lost since 1993. You're forgetting though, when and if he does lose on stream, he was doing it on purpose to teach you a lesson. How come when he says it, he can get away with it, but when I say it, people don't believe me? One minute left on this candle. Can we get a good close? He called the top, and we see a crash in equities. He called the top, but we're still putting in new highs. How does that explain that to me? Yeah, now that you remind me, did he not call for the top of the year already put in like a week or two ago? And here we are putting in new highs again. Thanks for reminding me. That actually happened, and no one's talking about it. Here we are, new highs. Just proof that nobody knows. Nobody knows, man. It's all probabilities, dog. Shit. Come on. We closed above 50%, so I think that's still a positive close for this inefficiency here. Listen, no one's turning on ICT, but it's like, what are we supposed to do? Like, wouldn't you guys rather have the ability to think for yourself a little bit, you know, and like be able to see something for what it is? Like, oh my God, he said this, but then this happened, and now he's acting like he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I promise you, that's 1,000 times better boat to be in than in the boat of people that is like, I don't care what anyone says. ICT is my father. Like, I promise you, you don't want to be in that boat. Ethereum hit all-time highs. That's nice. But yes, ICT is just a chill guy. Listen, I like ICT. I just think some of the stuff as of late has been just like, what the fuck, man? But he can redeem himself at any moment. That's the cool part. Like, it'd be so cool to see him come out of nowhere and win the Robbins Cup by the end of the year. But I'm also just a realistic person, and that's just not going to happen. I don't think. But if it did, that'd be sick. That'd be fun. Honestly, that Temple is probably the only way he could. That'd be like probably the biggest way, at least. Or just a little bit more accountability. Like he says in his videos, like, you know, he talks about being wrong sometimes, but like you never hear him take accountability for something like specifically, right? Like, is he gonna come out when Bitcoin hits 100K? Is he gonna come out and do what he said he was gonna do? Like, he literally makes such bold claims for marketing because it gets a rise out of people. He literally said he's gonna delete his YouTube channel. We all know he's not deleting his YouTube channel. If Bitcoin hits 100,000, I will delete my YouTube channel. He's not deleting his YouTube channel, I promise. It's not gonna happen. Right? He made a bet with Patrick Whelan for the Robbins Cup, 100K, 250K, 500K. He's not paying any of those amounts. It's not going to happen. He called for the top of the equities market apparently a week ago. Here we are pushing new all-time highs. Where is he out here in the public saying, hey guys, I was wrong? It's not that hard. When I'm wrong, I'm just wrong, and I do it in front of you guys, and it is what it is. I get shit on in the chat either way, so it's like, it's whatever. The only difference between me and a lot of you guys watching is you just don't have people watching you be wrong. Right? There's no different. I get it wrong. You guys get it wrong. ICT gets it wrong. The only one that ain't getting it wrong, boys and girls, is our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? Come on. I'm thinking risk for me is coming off. I'm waiting for price to trade through this high. This high here, and I'm going risk-free, boys. Up about 40, 50 ticks. Turns out all I needed was the blue light glasses, guys. Why didn't you tell me? Yeah, Ada, I agree. Yeah, definitely wouldn't want to see price return below this low here. Just waiting for us to officially run that high, boys. That was all I was waiting for. Now, put it a few ticks in profit. And we ride for 50 points. 200 ticks. Is it going to be another break-even stop trade? Or are we going to go? Let's go back to the 5-minute chart. I think it's important that we see this 5-minute close above the high. But here we are. It was worked out perfect with timing of the macro as well, which is just kind of a bonus, but bodies never close below 50% of the gap. Traded once more into the new high, into the 1 to 1.5 standard deviation, so Can we get any more expansion out of this? Please, God. Or was that going to be it? Just a little coffee, FG. Morning cup of Joe. Actually, I got a couple cups in here. Little Yeti tumbler. Keeps it nice and warm. Yes, sir. Understand your break even, but there is bullish fair value gap with a bullish order block. Seeing your thought process on not going break even now. Yeah, you're definitely right, Philip. I mean, one could keep risk on and leave it open for that. For me, I just don't like being up however many ticks we were up there. And the idea that I would even let the trade go back red just is not really my cup of tea there. So I guess it's more of an emotional thing, to be honest with you. Like, I just don't want to see the trade go red anymore. Don't want to let a winning trade that far in profit become a loser. Not saying that is, 100% of the time perfectly the right answer, because there's plenty of times where I've been stopped out of break even and then price does continue. But more often than not, like, we're trying to capture those really easy, clean trades, clean deliveries, But yeah, 100 ticks up. I'm good. I think ICT even said this year in the 2020, one of his 2024 mentorship recordings, like, if you're ever up 20, 25, 30 points on Nasdaq, do not let that trade go back to red. Which is different than what he said in 2022. 2022, he said once price moves 50% to your target, trail stop, or like cut like 25% of the stop or something like that. So you're trimming off some of the risk. And then he said once price gets to 75% of your target, partial, remove risk fully, right? So that's another thing he's gone back and forth on, given two different pieces of advice. But for me, on an emotional level, I just don't like being up that far in profit and then, like, now I'm going to take a loss now. Like, this just doesn't sit well with me. I'd rather just get stopped at break even if the trade's going to fuck around. Did not get a great close on this 5-minute. Let's acknowledge that. We still have 5 minutes left of this macro, 4 minutes left. So let's see where this can get to by the end of it. For 2021, he said keep pushing. No, I didn't get any meme coins. I actually, I might regret this. I might not. We'll see. But I bought, and this is not financial advice, boys, but I bought some Cardano and AMP like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Both of these coins for me 3x'd in the last 2 weeks. So I took profit on them last night. Which was 10K. So that is just sitting in Coinbase. And my plan is they might not pull back. This is why I said it could be a mistake. If they pull back, I'm grabbing more. I'm putting the same amount of money back in, but I want to see AMP, fingers crossed, get back below a penny. And I'm going to take that money and grab probably 1 million plus tokens. But yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna treat it like a trade. I'm up 3R. I'm taking profit. I very well, you guys might see me time stop this in 2 minutes. Market was listening. It says, yeah, 2 minutes. That's too long. Let's go get your stop quick. No, I'm not holding any Doge. Nope. I thought about it when they rolled out the Doge government efficiency program with Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy, but no. Macro's over, guys. I'm gonna hop out. It might just fly now that I'm out, but locked in 55 ticks. Not much. But yeah, kind of a break-even day now. Let's see. Let me get validated by watching it come all the way back to my entry. Macro's over. Watch this thing just do a god candle to the upside now. I hope not. Oh god. I'd be so mad. But yeah, this is just like the 5 minute not closing now twice above this high. I just felt like it was time to cut it. Macro did not have any more juice. If I was in, I'd be hoping that this fair value gap would hold. Let's see. But didn't come away fully empty-handed, which obviously would have been worse. It's Kian. I kind of went over that earlier. I don't know if you were on when I was talking about like breakaway gaps and stuff. I'm assuming you're talking about this gap down here. Yeah, I kind of went on a whole rant about breakaway gaps, and so this is my explanation. My explanation of breakaway gaps is when this gap first forms, how do you know it's a breakaway gap? You don't. You have no idea if it's going to be a breakaway gap. So anyone out there that tries to tell you otherwise, I just think they're full of it. That's my opinion. However, when conditions are right and you're anticipating a day to be spooling, expanding, etc., and then you see price action like this, where this is actually right after the macro, but price trades up from a 5 minute fair value gap, leaves this imbalance. We did set limits here. I didn't get picked up though. I set a limit in this gap, didn't get picked up, missed me by 2 points, and then we displace higher again, leaving behind more inefficiencies. So in my opinion, you can classify gaps as breakaway gaps I think you got to have two things. One, once these gaps, these higher inefficiencies start forming, because you don't want to see these fail, right? If you're bullish and you're expecting bullish order flow to continue, the moment these PD arrays start failing, you're probably reversing. And when are these PD arrays going to fail? They're going to fail once the objective has been met. Whatever that objective is. Obviously, in this example, we don't have much for an objective to go off of because we're at all-time highs. Normally, you take out like a previous day high, previous weekly high, you trade into something, and then that is when you can expect those reversals. But like, let's say, for example, let's say previous weekly high was like up here, right? Like if that's not met yet, and we're displacing quickly towards that, and that's your draw on liquidity, and like we're getting these higher imbalances, that's when you can anticipate those breakaway gaps. But again, you're not going to know that until these higher PD arrays form. Right? And it is something that you'll have to, I think, because it took me some time to feel comfortable trading that way. I always wanted to get the best possible entry at the low or high of the previous range. And then like I wouldn't, sometimes that would mean like I would just miss out on the move completely. So I guess it's kind of up to you if it's worth it to, try catching institutional order flow entry drill style trades, anticipating gaps to be breakaway, unmitigated, things like that. But it's something to be mindful of in terms of like, okay, did we take out an actual objective? Because if we did, you don't want to be taking those higher PD arrays. But if you have a very confident, strong draw on liquidity that hasn't been met yet, and you see price spooling quickly toward it, then that's when I think you want to be taking those trades. And I just want to be careful about saying that because I don't want to imply that you're ever going to know. You don't know if price will continue expanding. You don't know if price will automatically just reverse on you, turn into a kind of a seek and destroy chop, and you end up taking an L. That's going to happen. That's why you got to keep your risk in check either way. Like, it doesn't matter how good your analysis is. You still can't just, like, you could take an A++++ trade. Everything looks perfect. Doesn't mean the trade will win. The trade can still lose. But that's just kind of the way that I would explain when I identify breakaway gaps. It just bugs me when people will like see me miss my entry, and then they think, they're probably just trolling, but like they come in the chat and they're just like, bro, it's a breakaway gap. LOL, you need to study more. Like you take a fuck. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. I just think it's annoying. It's funny, but it's annoying. And it's like, you know what? There is a small sliver of a chance that those individuals, maybe they're just God's gift to trading, and they are able to tell if a gap's going to be breakaway before it actually becomes one. If that's them, all the power to them, dude. What do you want me to say? You're a better trader than me? Congratulations. You want a cookie? Like, who cares? You should only be taking trades that you can anticipate and can make sense of. If somebody else in a Discord, on a live stream, or somebody anywhere is sitting there making you feel like a piece of shit because you didn't take a trade that they did, like, dude, fuck those people. Like, that's not trading. That's you playing the comparison game and thinking that, you need to be like so-and-so when you don't need to be like anyone. You need to be the best trader you can be, son of a gun. That's the truth. None of these concepts, it means nothing if you can't anticipate it and take it on your own. It means absolutely nothing. And I would say if you're a little bit newer and like you're kind of still struggling with more so basic entry models, you don't need to try to force yourself to like get everything right away. You don't need to force yourself to trade breakaway. Like I think it is a little bit more advanced. And like with more experience, it's gonna need, you need to see it play out enough times where you do get left behind, and then you kind of build that confidence of like, okay, next time I'm in that condition and I see it and I can anticipate it, you know, maybe you allow yourself to take that trade. But I tell you in the beginning, that's not gonna feel comfortable. You're gonna be like shitting bricks. Right? And then like when the trade goes in drawdown and then stays there for a while, you'll be like second guessing, close the trade. Oh my God. Like, do you guys remember when I was in drawdown here? Somebody said the macro was going to microwave my trade and I was going to get cooked. Anybody remember that? Did I close the trade? No. I said if it hits my stop, it hits my stop. Allie, I do have a video on it, I think, on my YouTube. And it was after a trade that we caught using breakaway gap. You have to look for it, but otherwise ICT taught it, I want to say last year, 23. I think the gap is called like advanced gap something. It's like advanced gap. Hang on. It's something to do with gap, like advanced gap theories or something. Let me well, no, I'm not gonna, you can go find it. I'm not gonna go look it up for you. You can go find it. What am I, a babysitter? Yeah, just go look up the advanced gap theories in 2023. I can't promise it. It's going to, for whatever reason, I remember watching it the first time and I was kind of like scratching my head a little bit. I'm like, dude, this just kind of seems unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like I'm still like, bro, I feel like I'm still trying to master gaps as it is. Now you're sitting here, I got to worry about measuring gaps and breakaway gaps and thigh gaps. Come on. But yeah, man, good decision, I guess, to cut that trade time stop wise. I did think price was kind of giving sign that it was not going to go any higher anyway. So that's good, boys and girls. Was able to mitigate taking an L earlier, which I did not think the loss going short earlier was bad. I mean, it was quickly invalidated, but I did not think it was a bad trade. We had SMT at the high after running this huge displacement. If you guys remember, ES was just dumping, right? So I don't think that was a bad decision. We just kind of had high resistance conditions with indices kind of doing two different things at once. So let's do a little quick pulse check. I do like how 100 people hop off though as soon as I close my trade. Degenerates. Degenerates. But let me know how you guys have done so far today. The couple hundred of you is left. Hey, before you hop off, any couple hundred more, how about you give the stream a like, son of a gun? And guess what? Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn that notification bell on if you don't want to miss any future streams. All right. But we navigated this market. Yeah, I'm fine with this. I'm fine with how I navigated this today. Obviously, it's not like the best, but I'm really not mad at either trade I took. What would have been best, obviously, would have been if my long here would have been picked up. I think we'd be looking at a much different day, much happier day, if this was the case. Because I was going to, I think my stop was actually here, and I was going to run this up for a 1-2, which would have been over a 50-point move, and yeah, that would have delivered here. Would have gotten really close here, and then we would have had to have seen this 5-minute fair value gap and just, let this hold and play out. So had I been picked up here, we'd be looking at a nice green day, I guess, but it is what it is. Didn't want to grab my limit order by 2 points. A game of ticks, man. It's a game of ticks sometimes. What can I say? What can I say? Got about half the chat green. 37% red, 19% flat. And, yeah, we're, 11:20? So, coming up on lunch hour here. I guess what I would say, the way that I'll probably view market going into the afternoon, given how this has played out now, right? If price displaces, we see a change in the state of delivery here, on like this 5-minute or higher. I like shorts, actually. I like the idea of price doing something like this. So I'll see if something like this can present itself. Like I said, I want to see displacement down and then trade back, because you got to think, if we can displace, obviously we're getting that close below now, which is good, changing the state. We still have this fair value gap that we're in. So ideally, this is kind of just like step one. Like to see inversion here, maybe leave a fair value gap here, come back, trade into it, bang. That'd be a good setup in my opinion. So I'll see if that plays out or not. All right, guys, but appreciate you guys showing up as always. Like the stream on your way out. I'll be live tomorrow. It is Thursday, day before NFP, but yeah, I'll be live tomorrow. If we don't like anything, we don't have to take anything. But I will see you guys back here, same time, same place. Boys and girls, enjoy your Wednesday. Happy hump day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Our trade sits at his desk, coffee in hand. The Nasdaq charts on his screen, he's in command. He's a day trader, chasing dollars and dreams. Using ICT concepts, he's got some tricks up his sleeves. From Fibonacci retracements to volume spread analysis, Tyler knows the smart money, he's gaining an advantage. He watches the market like a hawk in the sky. With every tick and every turn, he's catching the high. Running with the smart money, kicking up dust. Tyler trades a day trader you can trust. Dancing with the bulls, riding with the bears, making moves, taking risks, he's a millionaire. With the bulls, riding with the bears, making moves, taking risks, he's a millionaire.